I was like, oh, we're live. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not talking about it. Anyway, Max, can't hear you.
Yeah, your lips are moving, but you ain't saying nothing.
Welcome to the what is it? Sixth, seventh? We've done a lot of these.
It's been a while.
Nick's here, covering Josh for the day. We have a lot to talk about, obviously. Everybody's hurt. That's one thing. And we lost a pretty bad game yesterday, but it's regular season. It's all about the playoffs at this point. 12, 13-ish games left. I don't think we're getting the 1 seed. I don't think we care enough.
We don't need it. No, we don't. We could have.
It's better if we get the 1 seed because I think what seed do we play in the second? It'd be the.
The winner.
It depends on who else wins.
I'm gonna win the first play-in, no?
Yeah, I just think there's an easier route to the conference finals if we're the 1 seed. So.
Well, duh, you play one seed.
There's really a few teams I don't want to have to deal with. The only team
next.
I'm not gonna say next. The only team that's gonna, and I feel like is gonna give us any bit of trouble is the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree.
The same Bucks that we beat twice.
No, this Bucks.
I'm more afraid of the Sixers, honestly.
They're not good.
That's who I would be afraid of.
I don't want to face the Sixers.
The Sixers just have Joel Embiid, and how are they going to defend all three of us? Tobias is overrated. Ben Simmons can't shoot for shit. Steph Curry isn't good.
I'm scared of the person I'm most scared on the 76ers is Tobias Harris, to be completely honest with you.
I forget he's on the Sixers sometimes.
He's like a quiet scorer, but he's a really good scorer. Like Joel Embiid obviously is their best player. Ben Simmons is trash, so I don't even need to talk about him. I'm not gonna give him attention. But Tobias Harris is actually a good scorer. Like Embiid, yes, he's the best player on the team easily. But I mean, defensive schemes usually work out with him or work out what we want rather than what he can do. He could still drop 30, but in a different way. So I think if the game doesn't slow down for us and we don't get crazy fouls like in the playoffs, I think we'll be okay. Because what kills us is a bunch of fouls. It stops their momentum. It gives them, their shots in. I think we play it right. I'm not too scared about Embiid, but not saying he's bad or nothing to be concerned about. But I don't know. I'm more scared of Bucks.
I just don't want to play the Bulls.
The Bulls?
I don't like Nikola.
I hope in the first round. I hope we face like the Hornets or something. It's just
Hornets
an easy,
would be fun.
Yeah, just an easy sweep. That's what I'm hoping.
Nothing's easy with us.
I hope we don't face the Knicks in the playoffs.
I would love to. I would love to.
I mean, it would be entertaining. Don't get me wrong.
But no. They would make it as close as humanly possible.
Like the Knicks would take that series personally, and I just don't want to face them at all.
I think honestly, they're going to be the 4. I think we're going to be the 2, and it won't happen till the Eastern Conference Finals, in which I don't know.
Now, in the first round, right now, we'd be facing the
winner
Heat.
of the second play-in.
You know what? I would love to verse the Celtics too. I would love to verse them. They've been doing better, but I really would love to sweep them. It'd be amazing. It'd just feel great.
I think we would sweep them, honestly.
I totally agree. I think the Knicks could maybe get a game on us. They get all excited for one game and then
a little gentleman sweep action.
Yeah. I mean, they would put up a good fight.
They would take like the first game of the series, and then we could sweep them after that.
I totally agree. Something to be, oh no, New York Knicks are back, baby! And then they lose the next 4. Because that's how the headlines have been right now. So, I give them credit for, relax.
Look, I've been saying this, I don't care who we play. I
mean, that should be the mentality, realistically.
It's the worst possible matchup. You don't care right now, but 2 weeks down the road from now, you definitely will.
2 weeks down the road from now when we're, locked up, how many games from clinching are we? Let me check that out. But 2 weeks down the road from now, when we clinch, it's going to just be about the number one thing this team needs to do is keep everyone healthy. And I'm not doing a very good job of that, or they're doing a very good job of that. I'm not really sure.
I have a theory.
What
I
the
think
hell?
I don't think Harden's injured.
You
I'm gonna
know?
be honest, or at least not that bad. I think okay. If he was really that injured and they had a setback, what they called it, why was he at the games, the
He
recent
was already on
games?
the road.
Yeah, but why didn't they take him back to do his rehab? Like KD did the same thing.
Because
Now
they shut
KD's
him
just
down.
Did they
like,
even tell us how he got a setback? Was like in practice?
no, there was no, oh, he collided with TLC or he pulled it too hard or the trainer. No, they just said setback. It's so cap. I feel like it's so cap. That's why
Well,
it didn't worry me. It annoyed me because I want to see him play, but it didn't really worry me. KD is worrying though because he
I
just won't
I
stop
think
getting
they're being
injured.
too overcautious with KD.
I think he's
Don't they
gonna
have him listed as questionable?
Honestly,
he's playing tomorrow.
it's
Yeah.
just better if they just played him more. Sometimes you're more injury prone if you don't ever play. I mean, they just gotta
Yeah, that's a good point
you
actually.
gotta play through injury at some point.
They're gonna. I think
nothing-
they're gonna probably start it up now. I think he's playing tomorrow. Do we have a game Saturday? We have a game Sunday against the
We're
Suns.
facing the Celtics tomorrow.
Suns on
And
Sunday.
Suns on Sunday.
Yeah, great. So the Nets are currently, as far as the Nets go, they can clinch the 6th seed for a spot in the playoffs. Their magic number is 4, so if 4 things go their way, they can lock up a playoff spot. They've locked up both playing spots. They're already in something. And the Knicks are actually 4 games away from that as well. As well are the Bucks. So, right now the Wizards are making a little bit of a push. So that's another thing. The Raptors just suck. When they beat us, we didn't.
Of course they beat us.
The Raptors, remember a few years ago when Masai Ujiri said the F Brooklyn thing? I feel like he has this thing against the Nets. I mean, haven't the Raptors been sitting out most of their players lately? And then yesterday, everybody's healthy. They all play major minutes. Is it just something against the Nets? Something with the Raptors.
So
Maybe.
I've come. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I've come up with not a theory, but more like a saying, or like something I stand by when it comes to this team. This team wins games because they have talent, but they lose because they have inexperience. And here's what I mean by inexperience, because pretty much all the guys on this team are veteran players who have been around the league for a while. It's not, it's not like it's a very young roster, but they have inexperience everywhere off the court. Their head coach is a first-year head coach who absolutely should not have been hired for the position. I don't care how good they do over the next decade. That was not the right hire.
You think he's just a product of a good team? It's the only reason he's a good
Absolutely.
record.
Absolutely. They
Kind of
win
like
games.
Steve Kerr when he was first
I don't
hired.
think Steve Kerr is a good coach.
I think Steve Kerr's a good coach. I think he gets carried by his players, but I think he's a good coach.
What
I
he
mean,
go 15-70 last year?
well, to be fair, he had a trash ass team, and the second thing I would say he's a good coach not because of his like tactics or his strategy, but
Yeah.
his basketball IQ, his basketball mind, just the way he talks to his players is really helpful. They have a culture. The Nets, would you say they even have a culture? Because they obviously
Oh,
had one.
They have a culture, just the bad one.
It's superstar culture. They just
Yeah, but I'm
anything
saying
to
before
please their
this year,
stars.
I'm saying before this year,
Yeah,
they
before
had a
they
clear
did.
culture. And that's what you could say. Is Kenny Atkinson a good coach? I thought he was a great coach. I mean, he
I
had
thought-
his problems, but he had a culture that he created. He
I
was
don't-
great. He was great with his players, and Steve Kerr's pretty much the same way. If you really
I
think
will
about
say,
it.
I think Steve Nash has better rotations than.
Oh yeah,
Kenny
I
Atkinson
actually
ever
like
had.
his rotations a lot more. Sometimes it's like, oh, why did he do this? And it's like, okay, well, give him some slack. He's testing around, the lineups, the rotations, all that kind of stuff. But it's also hard when you have that good of a roster. But like, yeah, Kenny, I thought it was great, but sometimes it's like, dude, what are you doing with these subs? Like, I don't know. Well,
Another thing we haven't addressed since our last time on, LaMarcus Aldridge.
I
yeah.
was just about to say something about that too.
That's one of those things. Like, he was here for 4 games. Like, great.
5 games.
5. But the impact, like, you could kind of see he was fitting in our rotation. He was scoring. He was hitting shots. Like, I mean, it would have been nice to see him, play with this team a little more. It would have.
Yeah.
It's a damn shame that, like, another thing that went undetected originally with the Nets. I mean, I highly doubt it. It has to be a coincidence, the LeVert and Aldridge thing.
Oh no, LaMarcus had this for years.
Yeah.
I didn't know until I read about it. I was like, oh, he had like
Oh.
an underlying thing. It's this long syndrome thing. It's called. He's had it since he was born. But I'm just surprised and we got kind of unlucky that it happened now.
It sucks, but it sucks what happened, and obviously, everybody around the NBA, they're praying for him to get this resolved and get this under control, I guess would be the right phrase.
Mhm.
But it really does suck, because the one reason I think the Nets will lose a 7-game series to the Philadelphia 76ers is because they don't have a center that will play defense beyond the free throw line.
Only one is
Well,
Claxton.
LaMarcus wouldn't do that either. LaMarcus couldn't do that either. The only thing he could do was show off with mid range, which I appreciate. He was great at, but he didn't bring anything new to the team, in my opinion.
You see, I feel like as if he was kind of a stretch 5. Like,
Yeah, he would post up. He would post up, and he would get a shooter's looks because if they would draw to him, and then he would give them looks. That was good, but like he didn't do much else. Not that like I was very surprised and happy with him, but like realistically, he didn't add a lot to the team.
Yeah, he
anyway.
wasn't good. He wasn't good defensively.
No, he wasn't, and his health impacted that. He even said,
You don't have to be good defensively on the perimeter, but at least somebody who's willing to come out and put a hand in a shooter's face.
The only one we have is Claxton. Claxton's the only
yeah,
center
we don't.
How do you
always plays defense.
But
I don't think Jared Allen did that.
Yeah,
Like, if Embiid, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys watched that game. We left him open and he knocked him down.
I hate when they do that. Was that they just leave him like I can understand like if they leave Giannis wide open because he's not a good 3-point shooter, but Embiid's been hitting those threes all season long.
If Giannis developed,
I think that they will change their schemes on defense come playoff time because, like I said, with the fouls, they happen less. They allow more stuff to happen with hand checking. So I don't know if they will leave him open. Maybe they'll step out a bit, because if you're, all the way up front, then you might foul him when he gets past you, and then he flops, gets an and 1, So I think it's going to look different come playoff time. Even if we might not even know we will face the Sixers, but if we beat them, we have to raid the 76ers Instagram or Twitter or something. I'm not even kidding. I hate them so much.
Yeah,
there is nothing I hate more than a 76ers fan.
No one likes them.
So
honestly, I hate the Raptors too at this point now.
Does anybody like the city of Philadelphia? I don't even think people.
No,
in
the
like
Philadelphia people don't
yeah.
even like themselves.
Yeah.
They try to say they do, but their city sucks. It's horrible. It's actually horrible.
Their fans. I don't know if the city sucks, but their fans.
Oh,
suck.
their city's horrible.
Yeah.
No, their city is so unsafe too. It's not even like a cool New York or something like that. It's like
But,
anyway.
So quickly off topic here, a little to the MVP talk because that's been around the league.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of the first year in a long time where like you don't have
It's not clear cut at all.
Like
for the MVP.
Like last year, you knew it was going to be Giannis. The last 2 years,
I think it's Jokic. I think it's obviously Jokic this year.
Who
I think Embiid missed too many games, and you see what Jokic is doing.
My vote immediately is Jokic as well.
I have a kind of dark horse name.
If you say Damian Lillard or Steph Curry, I'm gonna leave. Which one of it is it? Who is it? Don't say Damian Lillard. Please do not say Damian Lillard. He's
It is
not the
not
MVP.
Damian
And
Lillard.
it's not
You
Steph
did hit
Curry.
one of them.
Steph
Yes,
Curry.
It's not Steph Curry. It's not Steph
Guys,
Curry.
I'm just gonna say this now.
Look how
Yeah.
bad Golden State's been without him on the court.
I don't care. Look how bad a bench player has. He's not the MVP.
Look. I'll say this because
But that has nothing to do with what I was saying, though.
I agree with Nick here, and here's why.
Oh, here we go.
You look at this right now. The fact that this team, with the roster that they have, first of all, Draymond Green is the most overrated NBA player ever, and there is not a single person more overrated than him.
How about Ben
Okay,
Simmons?
okay. Wait, time out. You can't talk about teammates. Okay, I already know what you're gonna say. Steph Curry carries his team. His team's bad. He's the MVP. That's not how the MVP works ever. That's never how it
They're
works. It's,
a game under 500. Have we ever had an MVP with a below 500 team?
His second best player is Andrew Wiggins.
it doesn't matter though.
Okay, but here's the argument that I bring into the most valuable player discussion every time it's had. Every sport should take the MVP and legitimately give it to the most valuable player, and they should add another award just called the best player award.
Yeah, if it was the best player, it'd be LeBron every year. But
Yeah, that's why people say LeBron should be the MVP every year because he's both.
Here's why I say that. Mike Trout.
best player in
He's
baseball.
so good every year, yet the Angels always suck. So how valuable could he really be?
I think he's more of a product of just the Angels have terrible pitching.
I don't know baseball. I have no say.
No, but as much as I think Curry deserves a look for it, I don't remember the last time we've seen a big man do what Nikola Jokic is doing.
I'll say this about Steph Curry. I respect him. He's the best point guard in the league for the past however many years. I've always said, okay, relax. Okay, I have one question for you. Were you saying that, and were you saying that Steph Curry was the MVP a week ago? Or 2 weeks ago?
When did he hurt his tailbone?
It's like a month ago. I
A
think.
month, yeah, about a month, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, 5.
I mean,
something.
I feel like every.
Wait, you didn't answer the question.
No, I'm getting there.
Okay, my bad.
I feel like a lot of it and a lot of like this ESPN talk, like you look at Stephen A, he might be the most mind-changing person ever. They're like stuff like that. It like kind of throws people at the screen. So I kind of like obviously Curry. I think it was yesterday came out and said he thinks he should win it, right?
Curry, yeah, he said that. Yeah,
Who said that?
Curry. He says he deserves MVP, but he doesn't think he's going to get it.
Wait, who said that?
It was Curry. Steph Curry.
Oh, Curry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought it was like a analyst or something.
I mean, honestly, like I'm just pulling up his stats here. Like he has his career high in points, and it's not even close. He had it.
He had that 30-point per game streak. Remember, like 2 years ago when Harden had that whole streak with like the 30 points per game,
Like,
and nobody seemed to care.
Yeah, he had like 50 point,
Yeah,
60
it was
point,
30
like for
point
2
games.
weeks.
He had like a 30-point game in like 25 straight games or something like that. Harden. Nobody cared. But Curry has one for like 7 games, and people think he's the MVP now.
Curry had a bad night last night.
Well, do you know why that happens though? Do you know the real reason why that happens? And it's not because people hate James Harden. It's so clear why that's the thing.
Why?
Besides media, the fact that Curry shoots 3-pointers and it's like the 3-pointer is like the new dunk. So when kids or whoever see the 3-pointer, they got like happy feet. Like no, seriously, I'm like not even trying to disrespect them, but it's true. The 3-point shot is now the dunk. So when he gets however many threes, he can go 10 for 100 from 3. He's still gonna be called the best shooter, even though I do think he is the best shooter of all time. He'd go 10 for 1,000 from 3, and he'll be the best shooter just because that 10 3-pointers is a thing. I'm just saying, if Harden gets 4 threes, Curry gets 8. and Harden gets 60 and Curry gets like 30, 40.
Yeah, it's also with the whole like free throw, the whole stigma around Harden.
Yeah,
that he-
yeah.
shooting
That
free
I
throws.
kind of get, but at the end of the day, it's still a number,
I
and
remember
Harden doesn't even do that anymore, really.
he passes. He doesn't remember.
Nah,
Like,
he's different, and I'm not even being biased. If you're a real fan and you watch his games nowadays, he actually is different.
all right. I want to cover one more thing about Curry, and then I have another topic. Last 5 games, excluding yesterday where he was terrible, he scored 18 and had 7 and 8. 49, 47, 33, 42, 53. In his last 5, the Warriors went 4-1. That's just my reasoning. And he's shooting 47 from 3 this month. That's just my reasoning. I think he should be considered.
I honestly think Chris Paul should be above Curry in the MVP voting. Because Chris Paul has been doing it all year for the Suns. I mean, look at the Suns' record this year.
No, but Matt, you don't get it. He doesn't shoot 10,000 3-pointers a game. He's
Look
not.
at the impact. We're talking about most valuable.
No,
I
I'm
think
kidding. I'm
Chris Paul's
playing with
been
you.
more valuable to the Suns this year.
No, I totally agree. I don't
Yeah.
think he'll be MVP.
No,
But I
I mean,
know I see your
Obviously
point.
not. It's kind of like the Nets. Like the best player on the team is obviously Durant.
Yeah,
But who's been the most impactful player? It's
Harden
Harden.
and Kyrie's been the most fun to watch. They all have their
Honestly,
little thing.
Honestly, I think the MVP of the season for the Nets is Kyrie. I do.
You think so?
I think it's Harden still.
Look, he might have his personal shit. I don't know what happened last week. I know he had a baby, and then I know there was that whole thing early in the year. But other than that, he's been there every day. He showed up. And you know what? If that's all we could ask for him. With a few exceptions here and there, like for a few games, other than that whole thing in the winter, he's been there. And, with all these injuries, he's been there. And, that's all I can ask for him. But
No, that's a good point.
leading into my next topic about, speaking of point guards, we lost Chris Chiozza for the year.
Well, regular season at least, but probably into the playoffs too.
We signed, what's his?
Rick James.
Mike
Mike
James.
James. Rick James is a songwriter in the 80s.
That is, he averaged double digits in overseas forever.
He's nice. Nah, he's actually nice.
I think that there's somebody coming. I just don't know if they're gonna tell us when he gets here.
I thought he said he was.
No, not him. I think there's someone else coming. I just don't think the Nets are gonna tell us when he gets here.
Who do you think?
I think, based on what he's been saying, I think Spencer Dinwiddie will be here soon.
Oh yeah, Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah.
I thought you were about to say Richard Jefferson. He's coming out of retirement. He's
Yeah, my
running the
name
back.
was like floating through all like the guys that are still out in the market. I was like,
I thought you were gonna say like Jamal Crawford or something.
Look,
Yes.
is he still in California?
Yeah, I think so.
When's he coming back?
Bro, I swore when we signed him in the bubble, I swore he was about to drop 50. I was like,
He
please.
played
please.
like 5 minutes.
4
then he got
minutes, and then he
hurt.
got hurt. Yeah.
what did he do? Blow out his name?
Something in his leg or something.
No, I think he got like a hamstring strain or something.
It's always
like
the
that.
hamstrings with the Nets.
So,
It's hamstring. Everyone has a hamstring injury.
so how do you guys feel about our second unit? I mean, the second unit of Dinwiddie, Griffin, and Aldridge just sounded so scary. I mean, that's obviously not our second unit anymore. But
Our second unit healthy is probably Tyler Johnson.
is he okay?
He's listed as doubtful for tomorrow, so
Wait,
I mean, I think he's making progress.
I just want to say, I just want to apologize to someone tonight. I want to apologize to my man, Mr. Landry Shamit. I just want to say, I always knew it. You had it in you. I was just tough on you, and I before you say I'm capping, I knew it from the start. Every year there's that one Nets player that I'm like, I hate you. I thought you were gonna be good, and then they're ass, and then by the end of the season, I love them. First it was Dudley, then it was Garrett Temple, and now it's Landry Shamet, and he has been doing great, not just from 3-point range. He has been dunking on people, doing some Kyrie stuff, like running the point for the bench. Like he actually has been doing great, and I heard him on the radio. They were talking about him, which I'm
What?
happy.
Oh, I
He
thought
was
he was
doing
on the.
great.
I thought he was on the radio. I got excited.
Oh no, he should be
Oh.
on here. I
No.
tried.
We gotta get Landry Shamet in the offseason. We have to.
Wait. Oh, you mean to talk? I thought you were saying he's a free agent.
No, we gotta get him. No, we
I
gotta
was
get him.
about to say.
Oh, I DM'd him. I DM'd him and his girlfriend. They did not answer.
Yeah, we will get Landry Shamet on this show. Mark my words.
I
My
tried.
computer's about to die. So let's wrap this up. We got a big game tomorrow. We have a chance to sweep the Celtics in the regular season for the first time in probably forever. Maybe I don't know the last time it happened, but it's probably been a while. Maybe we have KD tomorrow. God knows, but I think he plays. I don't think they'd list him as questionable and then not play him. It's not like the Nets.
Who do we play Sunday?
Guys, We're
Sorry.
talking about the same team.
They don't usually list people as questionable and like saying
Uh-huh.
play and then don't play. That usually doesn't happen.
That's true. Wait, who are we playing Sunday?
We are playing the Suns. I want him for both those games.
Oh, so that's home. Yeah.
But
Pretty sure the Sixers over the next 2 games play the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken.
What? Or what we need to do.
Well, they're playing the Bucks right now. They're losing to the Bucks right now, actually. The Sixers.
They should just rest KD tomorrow.
Oh, so by the end of the night, we should be tied for first place again. If we win tomorrow, we're back in first.
We'll
Do
see
we
what
ever
happens.
finish in first?
The Sixers are losing right now to the Bucks.
Have we ever finished in first before?
I think the first year they went to the finals is the only time, I think.
All right. So
It's like 2002, I think.
we got a big week ahead. I'm trying to think of our schedule. We have
If the Bucks find a way to lose that game,
I think the Bucks is in 2 weekends. We play them twice. All right, here we go. Nets Celtics tomorrow. I'd play KD tomorrow. I would play him against the Suns. Let's just take the loss to the Raptors again, and then we'll go to Indiana, and then
Ooh,
we,
cares.
Karis
The
LeVert
Nets have
was
honestly have a
not
tough
75.
schedule to end the season.
Yeah.
It's a tough schedule.
I think
What?
coming in we knew it because the first 20 games, most of them were home games too.
and then we have a nice long road trip, and then we're at home to end the year, which is nice because we're gonna get to be at home, and not have to come home and all that before whoever's coming to town comes to town. So that's what I got. If you guys have any closing words, my computer's at 17. So what you guys got? I'm watching a game.
I'm trying to think of what I was saying. Well, what I want to say. Because I can't phrase it quite right. I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know the right way of saying it.
For the love of all God, stay healthy.
Yes, it's
When I
frustrating.
do
We
that-
don't know how good this team is. We don't know how good they are still.
Look, I don't know if any of you guys got that tweet. I don't know if it was Pooch that sent it out or somebody else, but it was like the record of each when each net plays alone, or the record we have when each net is out. We had a winning record when all three of them were out. Nuts to me.
When they were all out, combined.
Like
not
when
over there?
Harden wasn't on the floor, this was our record. When Katie
like,
was on the floor.
Add them together.
Oh yeah,
Like-
I saw something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's say Harden was out 3 games, Kyrie was out 4, and KD was out 5. Add them together.
Aren't the Nets like 20-2?
No, we have a winning record. Like if Katie's out, then the team with Harden and Kyrie is a winning record.
Like Harden and Kyrie was like
Oh
20-2 or something like
never
that.
mind. Okay, I saw that. Yeah.
All right. My computer's about to die. Let's wrap this up. We'll be back next week. Do we have a home game next week? We do have a home game next Thursday at 7, so we will be on at 6:30 for the pregame show as we prepare to take on the Indiana Pacers and Karis LeVert. So thanks for watching. Go Nets. Have a good night.